back. It is Social Media Saturday. We are joined, as always, by Naoma Doriguzzi, our social media guru. And of course, sometimes we like to be social. We like to use our devices. Sometimes, if you're too social, that can get expensive.
Exactly.
So you're here to help us with some advice how to avoid those surprises.
Luckily, I have unlimited data, but I know a lot of people that don't, and they're often having to pay overage because they're using their phone a lot. If you have an Android phone, which I do, there's ways that you don't have to download an app to monitor it. You can just go to your settings, go to data usage, and you could set a warning, so if you reach your data limit, then it'll stop using your data. You can also set a warning, so if you're getting close to it, let's say you're getting close within a week of the first month, you might want to slow down using your data, so you can kind of really monitor it so you're not going to have to spend overage.
And I have that on my phone, and also a way to just go and check just on a daily, I mean, because it can, I mean, that bill can come and be a surprise quickly.
Yep. And another good tip is, if you have an Android, you can go under data usage. It'll give a list of all the apps and how much data they're using. So there's what's called foreground and background data. Foreground is when you're actually using the app. Background data is when you're not, and it's just pulling things in. So like if your Gmail is syncing, your tweets are syncing, it's using data. So what you can do is, in the data usage settings, is click each app and then check don't use the background data, and it'll only be using data when you're actively using the app. So that'll help save you some data usage if you're using an Android.
And that's another easy trap, because a lot of people who aren't experts like you don't realize all that stuff is going on in the background without them knowing it.
Yeah, so those are good tips you can use. Another good one is if you have Verizon. I have a friend who has 3 kids that all have phones, and he was complaining about they were going overage on their data. It's called Verizon Family Base. It's $4.99 a month for the whole family, but what it does is it can restrict when they use their phone. You can turn off their phone within a click. It will even monitor the apps that they're actively using, who they're texting. So it's a good way as a parent to kind of keep track of your kids, but if you're worried about them going overage, you can set off their data anytime, as well as their messaging. They're still allowed to call 911, and you'll actually get a text in case they need to use their phone for emergency. But it's a really cool app that you can use if you're using Verizon.
And is that something you would set up through your phone, or you go through Verizon?
Yeah, you go through the Google Play Store, the iTunes, and you just download it, and then it's just $4.99 a month. But to me, it sounds like if you are worried about that and monitoring your kids, what they're using, and not having to go overage, that's a good app to use.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can see that as well. Although I did ask Naoma, do your boys have phones?
No, not yet. We're not there yet.
Okay. But if your kids do, then that's a good app, and just for ourselves individually. I mean, so really good stuff. And Naoma, we thank you as always. And if you have some questions, you can always find her at asknaoma.com, and we will be right back.